cuffs, so should I route the cables through it? Yes, you better do it. Sasha, can you approach me?
Девчата, открой личико.
Okay, let me see your face.
Федор?
Fedor?
Да.
Yes?
Вот как себя сейчас ведет кабель? Помнишь, как вы первый...
How does the cable behave right now compared to when we routed it for the first time? Well, right now it's straight as a string. Well, we were trying hard to make sure that that would be the outcome. Well, and you certainly managed. Yes, we did.
Ну. Слушай, наручники, и то некоторые приходится открыть.
Even have to untighten some
Да.
cuffs, yes.
Так.
Не-не, он его...
Так.
Okay, shall we start releasing the cable? No, let me translate first. Okay.
Сейчас.
Hold on.
Тяну.
I'm pulling. Just a moment.
Yep.
Не идет? Идет. Сейчас пойдет. Сейчас.
Can you pull it? Yes. Just a second. Okay, now we can start.
Угу. А вы их специально загибаете туда внутрь, да, эти наручники?
Do you
Удобно было подойти.
pushing them inside on purpose? I mean, cable holders, well, only just to make it more convenient for me to approach it.
Уже совсем.
This is Mission Control Houston. We've just passed the 4-hour mark in today's spacewalk by Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin. And as you can clearly see in this good view from the helmet camera being worn by Mazurkin during today's spacewalk, he and Yurchikhin are beginning to play out the Ethernet cable from its reel on the Universal Cable Carrier, basically a caddy in which several reels of cables have been stowed, 2 power cables, and this Ethernet cable. One of the 2 power cables already strung and wire tied down through a series of handrails between the Poisk module and the Zarya module of the International Space Station. The same route to be taken for this internet cable that will be wire tied by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin for future connections to electrical hookups that will reside on the multipurpose laboratory module once it arrives at the International Space Station.
Fedor compass is above you. No. Not down there. I'm talking. Careful with the Ethernet cable. Yes, I see. Rotate it. Okay. Done. All right, now compass. Your backpack is right against Strela. Yes, I see. You need to bring your legs up. I should be able to fit through. Oh, maybe I should do it the other way around. Oh. Am I still against it? No. You now have a gap. Okay, because yes, I really wouldn't want to be in contact with it. Can I start releasing the cable? Yes. Hold on. I just need to change my position because when I just observe, it's not quite what I need. But now I'm okay. Well, that's it for now.
Федор, ты докуда добрал?
Fedor, where are you at right now? I'm at 1316. Handrail. Copy. And I'm using cable holders from 1305. Okay. And I'm forced to open the holders with the wrench.
This is Mission Control Houston, 4 hours, 5 minutes into the spacewalk, like threading a series of eyelets and a succession of needles. Yurchikhin and Mazurkin continue to string this Ethernet cable between Poisk and Zarya, part of the preparatory work for the arrival of the Russian multipurpose laboratory module.
Okay. Can we keep releasing it? Yes.
Так, сейчас я тут перекоммутируюсь.
Let me do some reconnecting here.
Саш, подкручивай.
Sasha,
Да, Сергей.
start winding. Okay.
Еще, Федор Николаевич, пока хватит.
Further, some more? No, that's enough. Okay.
Так.
Okay.
Все, пока.
Okay, that's it. Very good.
Сейчас переведу.
Let me translate.
Сергей Сергеевич.
Sergey Sergeyevich, yes.
Вот сейчас Федор Николаевич...
Fyodor Nikolaevich will pull enough cable to start securing there, and I will need to release more until I reach the blue mark, and then I will need to secure the holder on 1500, then wire tie it on 1502, and then we'll keep going down plane 3 to FGB, correct? Correct.
А здесь мне его лучше пропускать, наверное, как-то...
And here, I should probably route it between electrical. Yes. Okay.
А на 15:00 они сойдут все три.
And at 1500, they will all converge. Okay.
Так, еще.
Okay. Should I start releasing? Yes, give me about half a meter. Okay.
Все, хватит.
That's it.
Так. Сергеевич, а вот видите, метки вышли.
Sergey, are those the marks?
Это 13-16.
This is 1316.
А, то есть здесь тоже...
So there are 3 of them also in the middle of 1316, right?
Федор Николаевич, да, примерно еще метр.
Fyodor Nikolaevich, we need one more meter towards you. I know I'm messing with the cable holders right now.
Я думаю, что кабель не заправляли именно.
I believe that was the reason why we did not install the cable inside here, inside the holder.
As Alexander Mazurkin plays out this Ethernet cable from a reel that he's operating at the juncture between the Zarya module and the forward end of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, Fyodor Yurchikhin continues to string this Ethernet cable through a series of handrails so that it is appropriately played out to a connection point on a connection patch panel between Zarya and the Poisk module.
Should you leave this mark right now?
You can see the reel clearly in view through this
Allow us to remove the flag.
Rather dramatic view from Alexander Mazurkin's helmet camera.
You mean if I'll have enough length to 1500? Yes.
The International Space Station is currently flying 260 miles over the Rhine Valley of Germany.
The cable is not really tense, but still, I don't think there is enough length even to 1500. Okay, copy.
You can see on the far right side of your screen, just close to one of the solar arrays on the International Space Station, that object sticking up from the hull of that module is a fair lead, essentially a routing device that enables these cables to be appropriately strung with no slack carried through them.
As soon as Fyodor will attach himself to 1050, I'm still at 1037. The nuance is that we're about to have ourselves a sunset. Well, I only have unintelligible left. I'll hand it to you in a minute. Guys, you're about to go into eclipse. Yes, we understand. But the marking is correct. It should be 1316. Okay, here it is. It's right there, if you can see it. Just like in the book. Let me see how much I need here. I just love this translation to the I can't begin to describe. Well, it's not that often that you have this chance. Especially when those cables are already all around my legs. There are handrails here that have never been used.
Ребят, тень наступит, давайте мы опять немножко отдохнем.
At the sunset, go ahead and take a short break. Sergey, that's all I'm doing is sitting around resting, so if you don't mind, I'll keep translating. Slowly. Okay.
И тогда поговорим.
Let's wait till sunset and then we'll talk. I wouldn't mind to reach 1600.
Федор, давай не будем.
Further, let's not do that.
Федор Николаевич, у него уже 10:50. Да, 10:50.
Федор Николаевич is at 10:50.
Да, я уж думал, ты хочешь погулять по ФГБ просто так.
I thought you were just about to take a stroll around FGB. Just for the heck of it.
Ребята, как с теплоощущениями?
Guys, what about your thermal mode? Are you okay? We're fine.
Принято.
I think I'm a little bit too warm, and I may be a little bit too cold, but in general, we're okay.
Я так понимаю, наверное, Сергей Сергеевич.
Sergey, I understand I can keep translating because the blue mark on 1316 is already there. So I will keep releasing it until the next mark and proceed going to 1500. The blue mark is on my side. Is it 1050? Yes.
The International Space Station has passed into an orbital sunset as it flies over Eastern Europe. Everything continuing to proceed on track and somewhat ahead of schedule by cosmonauts Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin, members of the Expedition 36 crew, as they press ahead with their spacewalk, now 4 hours, 18 minutes in duration. They're making great time as they continue to string an Ethernet cable between the Zarya module and the Poisk module of the complex. This to join two power cables being similarly strung today, part of the preparatory work for the arrival of the Russian multipurpose laboratory module in the months ahead, following its launch on a Proton rocket to replace the Pirs docking compartment.
Install the cable ends.
The Pirs will be disposed of through the use of a Progress resupply ship just a few days before the launch of the multipurpose laboratory module, and the port on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the station, currently occupied by Pirs, which arrived at the complex in September 2001, will be replaced by the MLM, as it is known by its acronym, or the Naoka module. Naoka, the Russian word for science. The new multi-purpose laboratory module to replace the Pirs docking compartment will serve a threefold purpose, not only as a docking port for Russian vehicles and an airlock for future Russian spacewalks, as is the Pirs today, but also as a new research module for ongoing scientific investigations.
ISS MCC Moscow, station ground 1.
Was unintelligible copy. Zero two. Copy.
Так, и примотай я сначала проволоку на 15:02.
Unintelligible.
Принято.
Copy.
Ребят, Павел не отвечает в СГ-1. Попробуйте тоже в СГ-2 позвать.
Talking over each other. Interference. Pavel?
Паша. Крис, Павел. Everybody, are you here?
Trying to wave to Chris and Pavel, hoping they will be able to see them.
Павел Андреевич, не слышите нас?
Pavel, I guess you can hear us.
Уже не слышат.
It looks like he can hear us. But that's okay. I'll try to call him on his face to ground one again.
Я могу...
I can actually knock on the window. How about that?
Я только хотел предложить, но
I was going to offer you that. I think he is answering in space to ground one.
Понятно. Слушай, сверху со стрелы 10:50 поручень видел.
3050 handrail, I think I saw that.
Fyodor Yurchikhin a moment ago
It kind of
in a jocular fashion telling Russian flight controllers that he is trying to communicate with Station Commander Pavel Vinogradov, who, along with NASA flight engineer Chris Cassidy, they're isolated today inside the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. They have access not only to Poisk, but to their Soyuz TMA-08M spacecraft. Part of the work that they're doing during this so-called downtime today, when they're isolated to Poisk, is a review of entry and landing procedures that they intend to employ a little over 3 weeks from now, when they return to Earth in their Soyuz spacecraft for a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan to wrap up their 5.5-month mission. Alexander Mazurkin will be in the left seat of the Soyuz. Vinogradov, of course, the Soyuz commander, in the center seat. Chris Cassidy will be riding in the right seat of the Soyuz TMA-08M for that entry and landing, with all of that to take place on the afternoon and evening of September 10th U.S. time, the morning of September 11th on the steppe of Kazakhstan.
Copy.
10:50 на нем же этот я прорисовал. Вот он.
I think I can see it now.
Как его? Да, ну конечно. Вот.
Oh yes, of course, it was covered.
Нашел.
Okay, I got it.
Слушай, а он только-только к нему пристанет.
Разъема.
The connector is just matching, and this is how it's supposed to be.
Ну, потому что с американского сегмента сюда...
Because the cable is dragged from the U.S. segment here.
Я понял. Тогда может быть на 10:30.
How about 1031 for to secure? I think 1050 we were talking about. However, that one has already a bunch of cables, and this one has good room for it. So we have like 3 of them. Okay, stand by. Yeah, take another closer look. Stand by. I can try 1050. 1050, 1030, 1031. Just a second, Fyodor. Okay. Let's keep 1050.
Значит, это самое, Федор, давай сделаем так.
На 10:50 придойду, и ты
Ну, давай, если получится.
Okay, if it works out for 1050, that's all right. We'll try that.
Самое интересное, что вот в этом месте этот кабель...
It's interesting that in this location, the cable is not supposed to be between two Russian Nicholas cables.
партнеров с левой стороны.
And I think that's what we're getting. On the port side.
Федор, я тебя не слышал. Ты говорил что-нибудь?
Fyodor, I did not hear. Were you saying something? No, no.
Нет, я...
I'm working.
Принято.
Happy.
Fyodor Yurchikhin continuing to string this Ethernet cable through a series of handrails with the assistance of Alexander Mazurkin, who is playing out the cable from a cable reel on a cable caddy that he has mounted at the forward end of the Zarya module of the International Space Station. This cable being stretched the length between the Zarya module and the Poisk module, where it will be connected to a connection panel on Poisk and wire tied down so that it is permanently installed to join two power cables. All of this, the work in advance of the arrival of the multipurpose laboratory module the Russians will launch in a few months. We're almost 4.5 hours into this spacewalk that is scheduled to last around 6.5 hours or so. The two cosmonauts continuing to work in efficient fashion as they make their way through the timeline, having begun the spacewalk with the opening of the hatch to the Pirs docking compartment at 9:39 a.m. Central Time this morning. We're currently in a gap between downlink television capability through our tracking and data relay satellite system. We should be regaining our TV downlink from the station to observe the work of the cosmonauts outside the Russian segment of the complex in about 15 minutes.
Я на 15:00.
I'm at 1500.
Держатели. Сейчас затяну.
I am tightening the cable holder. Yes.
Принято. Скажи, пожалуйста, как его здесь привязать? Крепко или вот...
Should it be tied tightly,
Я его под поручень
or I also put it kind of behind the handrail?
сбоку виден и мотивовка, это... Вот.
Because it is going to be untied later, do not make it too tight.
Олег Валерьевич, повторять.
Yes, do not repeat previous mistakes.
Все, он принимает...
Okay, it's done. Abandoned it. And it's under the handrail. You can see it. You can see the label. Copy.
Проволока рядом
The wire tie is next to the holders. 13, I think 1031. 1031. 1030, 1031. Yes.
Принято.
Copy.
Так, вот текст.
Good.
Федор.
Fedor? Yes.
Ну, как обычно, пожелание.
And
Минуту отдыха.
we would like you to take a breather. 5 minutes rest. Okay.
Время пошло.
Start now.
Время пошло.
Agreed.
So with the crew continuing to work slightly ahead of or right on the timeline for today's work outside of the Russian segment of the station, we've passed the 4.5-hour mark in the spacewalk. Russian flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov that you're looking at a view of from a balcony camera outside of Moscow are advising the crew, Yurchikin and Mazurkin, to take a few minutes breather to have an opportunity to enjoy the view 260 miles below of the Earth as the International Space Station is currently flying from northwest to southeast over Southeast Asia in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator.
Да, это на тебя даже можно вытаскивать. Здесь такая петунечка небольшая.
Makes a loop.
Я сейчас потом и говорю, что
That's what I'm saying.
получается...
Слушай, Саш, а если утащить
Саша.
туда на миме втором на кольцевые эту слабину чуть-чуть?
How about pulling the slack towards the circular handrails?
Так, а как ее стравить?
How would that be done?
Выбрать просто.
Just pull.
Я имею в виду, там ее надо будет чем-нибудь фиксировать.
But that will need to be secured somehow over there. Only wire tie.
Проблема, ее надо туда, надо будет там...
I can tighten it just and use the wire tie.
Саш, ты не ушел никуда еще?
Sasha, are you still there?
Да. Я на 15:02.
I'm at 15:02.
Сначала поставить.
I'm trying to situate it.
Хорошо.
Там изернетский кабель. Сейчас я его проложу.
The cable. I will
И он...
put it in between Russian egress cables first.
Сережа, а следующее, что у нас?
Sergey,
Следующее, я иду.
and next move, I'm just moving towards you. And then we'll be working with the second cable.
То есть мне второй кабель уже можно...
The second cable can be already prepared
Ну,
Надо
в принципе, у тебя еще
and secured.
минуты.
You have 2 more minutes, in fact.
Нет,
I understand,
мне с мозгами еще
but I can work with my mind,
Дальше
even if I'm resting.
прокладываем сэповский кабель, причем
Yes, the Russian Nicholas cable goes next.
Да, да, да.
Understand.
И по направляющей.
And using the guide.
да, по направляющим, а Саша
Yes.
потом уже посмотрит. Саша потом уже.
And Sasha will finish it up.
Кстати, Федор.
Okay, Fyodor?
Да.
Yes.
А у нас на 10:35.
How about 10:35? Do we have this cable attached to that handrail? Cable number 1. 10:35? No, nothing is attached there.
Ну вот надо будет
На этом самом.
I think it will need to be attached. That's why I assumed. I understand what you are talking about. I can still do it now,
Здесь будет полно всякого этого.
but
А вот когда отведем
it will be busy here.
УКП.
When we move the bundle
да,
away, we'll have more room for it.
вдвоем. Аккуратно все. Например, смотри, вот как вариант.
Look, as an option,
Потом я сяду на дверь,
we will
прогорцу
tie it.
пострелю туда, а
Then I will use Strela. Sasha will stay here.
полетит.
Ну ладно, давай.
You know, let's
В принципе, добро на работу есть.
continue now. We have a go to continue.
Сейчас Саша с глубиной разберется.
Sasha will figure out with the slack, and you will be preparing the second cable for now.
Проволоки мне здесь много.
I have a lot of wire tie,
Скажем, туда дойти и потихонечку.
and I can start moving that way and then coming from there over here. And Sasha will continue working in place. I am just giving you an idea.
Хорошо.
That way he will not need to have to move extra. Okay, I think.
This is Mission Control Houston, 4 hours, 40 minutes into the spacewalk by Yurchikin and Mazurkin.
And it is available.
They have taken about a 5-minute breather to regroup and to receive some strategic advice from the flight control team at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow. Now they'll press ahead. The stringing of this Ethernet cable between the Zarya module and the Poisk module is essentially complete. Will be wire tied down in place, and then they will press ahead for additional work with the second of 2 power cables that will be strung in the same fashion between the Zarya module and the Poisk module.
To be pulled apart, and it will be probably difficult to translate. I understand.
Я думаю, что вот к моменту, когда
I think
пойдем стыковать разъемы,
by the time we be ready to make the connectors, we will figure out the path for you to go back. Okay.
Тогда прошло, наверное, время.
Okay, the time has passed already for my resting, and I will be preparing the second cable.
Да.
Yes, Sergey?
Наверное,
I think I am right.
последние слова не расслышал.
I didn't quite understand what you said.
Последние слова не расслышал.
Потом, говорю, все отклинать, имейте в виду. Привязать.
Unintelligible.
Не понял, Федор.
I didn't understand what you said.
мы в другой, например.
I still didn't understand it further.
Сереж, а УКП это
Sergey,
еще раз?
when will we need a bundle next time?
УКП понадобится нам, когда будем прокладывать кабели между МЛМ и СЭМ.
For placing cables between MLM and SM.
Поэтому после 35-го
That's why
выхода мы попросим вас, я запланирую
after EVA 35,
времени на то, чтобы его
I planned some
в мешки.
time for you to put it back together in the bag.
Да, то же самое хотели.
Yeah, we were going to propose the same
Конечно, места много.
because it is taking up a lot of room.
Нет, это мы абсолютно точно понимаем, поэтому разложим опять по мешкам.
Interference.
This is Mission Control Houston. We should be regaining our downlink television capability from the International Space Station shortly as we move to the 4-hour, 45-minute mark in today's spacewalk by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin. They are wrapping up work in the stringing of an Ethernet cable between the Zarya module and the Poisk module that will join two power cables, one of which already in place, the second of which will be tackled by the crew short time from now. All of this cabling is being done in preparation for the arrival of a Russian laboratory module called the Multipurpose Laboratory Module, or MLM, that is scheduled for launch atop a Proton rocket and which will replace the Pirs docking compartment, which for the past 12 years has served as a docking port and an airlock for Russian spacewalks.
Maybe I will pick it up as well. Yes, you can do that.
Так, ну так нормально.
It should be good this way.
Все, Николаевич, иду к вам теперь.
And Fyodor, I'm moving towards you.
Стоит тебе. Хорошо.
Принято, Саша.
Copy, Sasha.
Федор.
Fyodor?
Федор.
Yes.
А ты что, хочешь идти с кабелем навстречу Саше?
Do you want to carry the cable towards Sasha?
Но
Yes.
не будет там от этого хуже.
Don't you think it will make it worse? What do you mean?
Ну, в смысле того, что...
Дело в том, что... Смотри.
Back with our television capability, looking out of the helmet camera mounted on the helmet of Alexander Mazurkin, as he and Fyodor Yurchikin continue to wrap up work in wire tying and securing the Ethernet cable between the Zarya module and the Poisk module. The next task for the crew will be the routing of a second power cable, the second of two such cables, to a connector patch panel that exists in the connection between Zarya and Poisk. Flying just south of the continent of Australia at an altitude of 260 statute miles, a good view of Fyodor Yurchikin as he carefully wraps up the wire tying of an Ethernet cable that was strung between the Zarya module and the Poisk module of the International Space Station's Russian segment. This from a camera mounted on the truss of the International Space Station.
Yeah, last time we were losing signal a lot, and it is normal. You just need to restart it periodically.
Yes.
Yes, it is working, the indicator is on. Copy will check if we have a picture. Yes, we have a picture.
Да, Саш, теперь
Сергей, хотел уточнить, вот эти, хотел уточнить, затягивать
wanted to clarify.
держатели, которых извернуться, которые не
Ethernet cable holders will need to be tightened.
Да можно от руки их просто разводя.
Нет, Федор, но ты...
Платформа была жесткая.
They need to be tight?
Они расслабляются.
See, they kind of get loosened.
Поэтому ключом.
As they say, you probably need to use a wrench. Yes, you can use the wrench.
Затягиваем нас, хорошо.
Okay, I'm tightening it now. Good.
As we approach the 5-hour mark into the spacewalk today by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin, just a recap, the two cosmonauts, Expedition 36 flight engineers, opened the hatch to the Pirs docking compartment airlock at 9:39 a.m. Central Time, moved outside, Yurchikhin mounting the straa telescoping boom to be transported across from the Pirs to the forward portion of the Zarya module near the U.S. segment of the International Space Station, where, as you can see from this video, they continue to work in tandem in the stringing of a pair of power cables and an Ethernet cable between Zarya and the Poisk module, which is on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The crew is moving ahead in smart fashion, running essentially ahead of their timeline for the day, with about an hour and 40 minutes to go in the planned timeline for today's activities. Yurchikhin and Mazurkin are conducting the 172nd spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance, this being the 7th spacewalk in Yurchikhin's career, the 2nd for Mazurkin. The two will venture back outside next Thursday, August 22nd, for yet another EVA, extravehicular activity, in which they will replace a laser communications system experiment on the outside of the Zvezda service module with a swiveling platform upon which a small optical telescope will be installed on a future spacewalk. They will also next Thursday remove a docking target from the Pirs docking compartment that had been used as part of its docking assembly.
Sergey,
Скажи, пожалуйста, а кабель сколько сантиметров должен
could you tell us what is the
вот здесь на конусной части?
so in the cone at the most unpleasant part? How long should the cable be? How many centimeters at the cone-shaped part? Well, we didn't speaking simultaneously.
Нет, кабели развестись, они идеально.
The cables,
Здесь 15.
well, the structure is 10 to 15 centimeters. The cables are routed fine. I think there shouldn't be any problems. Okay, I'm going to pull it out then.
Николаевич, а вы, по-моему, тоже... нет.
Better. No.
Всего. Я думал, вы затянули один.
I was just thinking you pulled that one out. I thought you took one of the holders.
Нет.
No.
This is Mission Control Houston. We've hit the 5-hour mark in the spacewalk today by Fyodor Yurchikhin, who you see working at the forward end of the Zarya module as he strings cabling between Zarya and the Poisk module in preparation for the arrival of the multi-purpose laboratory module that the Russians will launch in a few months atop a Proton rocket. Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin working in concert with one another. This view from Alexander Mazurkin's helmet camera as the crew wraps up the securing of an Ethernet cable that was strung to a connector patch panel between Zarya and the Poisk module. They earlier deployed one of two power cables, the second of which they will move on to working with a short time from now from a cable caddy that is part of a device called the Universal Cable Carrier, a series of reels mounted on a cradle that they brought outside the Piers docking compartment with them when the spacewalk began this morning.
Right now on 1313. Inaudible. Sergey, I think the previous time I said I already tightened them. Let me check. 1306. 1306 should be fine. Okay, that's great. I mean on the horn-looking long end. Yes, they're done. Sasha?
Не хочется 3 минуты просто отдохнуть?
Do you just want to take a 3-minute break, just a break?
Давай, пусть руки немножко...
Let's just let's just give your hands a break. Okay, let's just talk.
Значит, у нас осталось пока не довыполненная работа.
We have not completed an activity on securing test cables
Это степ,
on power cables 1035. That power cable 31, and the rest proceed for procedure. Schroeder is going to translate to MRM2, and then you, Sasha, are going to remain on pressurized adapter. Well, does it make any sense to swap right now? Do you think we can go the reverse? Sasha? Oh, Sergey.
Смысл просто нам тогда сейчас тут уже здесь меняться никак.
Well, Fyodor, do you think it makes sense for us
Дойду, вернее,
to swap?
с тобой.
Well, I think
Зачем? А держатели на обратном пути все затянул?
I can tighten all the cable holders on the way back.
Я. Давай.
Okay, we can do that.
Сейчас. Вот этот остался держатель у нас один, да? Сразу там. А я сейчас на обратном пути все сделаю.
I think we can do it on the way back. Do you think you'll be able to reach it?
Вот этот? Да. Сейчас попробую. Мне удобнее будет тянуть, Николаевич. Да. Вам же через компарус переходить. Да.
Okay, but we need to.
Давайте я его сейчас затяну. И потом...
Right now I'm going to tighten. I'm going to take. Speaking simultaneously.
Отдыхают, мы затягиваем.
Okay, take a break. Well, it doesn't make sense to for us to hop over each other at such a location. Okay, let's figure out who is actually going to be on the pressurized adapter. I am going to translate there. Okay, you will get there. And Sasha is going to tighten the cable holders. I'm going to unreel it. Then I am going to go and tighten them. That's what I'm talking about. And then you're going to go back. No. Let me talk to Sasha. So right now, I am going to tighten the very last Ethernet holder. And then I'm going to route the power cable. So just as planned. And then I'm going to go tighten it all. While Sasha is doing some of that, I'm going to do something on the pressurized adapter. I'm going to work on the pressurized adapter, and I'm going to put it on the cone. Okay, I think we can agree on who wants to be what. Okay, how is that, Sergey? I agree with your plan. Let's do it this way.
5 hours, 7 minutes into the spacewalk, you can hear that discussion between Fyodor Yurchikhin and Russian flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow. You're looking at a view of the Russian International Space Station Flight Control Room in charge of today's spacewalk. The pair of spacewalkers, Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin, just about wrapping up the securing of an Ethernet cable at a connector patch panel, wire tying that Ethernet cable off for future routing to the multi-purpose laboratory module once it arrives at the International Space Station. The Ethernet cable, one of 3 such cables being routed today. A power cable number 1 was secured earlier in this spacewalk by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin. They're about to press ahead for the start of work to route the second of the 2 power cables between the Zarya module and the Poisk module.
holders are secured. Well, yes, they're secured in the locks. They're attached in the locks as well. 1031 are not secured tightly. Well, these are the very last ones. They were tightened by hand.
Хорошо. Хорошо.
Okay.
Сейчас нет, эти. О, есть. Сейчас я свою заберу. Ага. Это у меня. Теперь я, значит, спокойно закручиваю сейчас этот вот держатель.
I'm going to feed it into the Ethernet holder. And I'm going to go and unreel the cable.
Саша, я так понимаю, на 13-16 тебе надо будет держатель отвести.
At 13-15 you will need to move the holders out of the way.
Потому что мы не был закручен. Поэтому это не проблема.
Okay.
Сереж, ничего, мы тебя не запутали?
Sergey, did we confuse you too much?
Ну, надеюсь, что нет.
I hope not, no. Because, you know, we can.
На одной волне разговариваем.
We're speaking on the same wavelength, you know.
Спасибо. Я затянул держатель.
I pulled the holder here. Sergey and Fedor, when you're ready.
Принято, Саша.
Okay, copy, Sasha.
Принято, Саша.
This is Mission Control Houston. Alexander Mazurkin should be at the cable caddy, or the Universal Cable Carrier as it is known, to begin to play out the second power cable that will be routed through a series of handrails by Fyodor Yurchikhin and tied off at a panel connection port that will establish a temporary connection between the Zarya module and the Poisk module of the International Space Station.
No, it's fine, Froder.
Как скажешь, я готов буду. Я готов. Все.
Okay, whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Давай. Ага.
Okay, go ahead.
Чего? Нет, это на кабеле бирка. Как солдат.
There is a tag on the cable, like a soldier dog, like a dog tag.
Веревка завязла на бараж.
The rope is tied to the wing nuts on the holder with the barcode number.
Так, ну что, мы начали с этого приспособления.
Okay, did we start working with the power cable?
Хорошо. Федор, ты где сейчас?
Yes. Froder, where are you?
Я травлю.
I am releasing it.
Принято.
Copy.
Я заранее подготовил все карабины, отвел их подальше.
I prepared all the hooks in advance. I moved them a little bit away.
A good view from the camera mounted on the helmet of Alexander Mazurkin as he works with Fyodor Yurchikhin to route the second of two power cables to a connector patch panel between the Zarya module and the Poisk module. The spacewalk now 5 hours, 20 minutes in duration, everything going ahead of schedule. The crew has been working extremely efficiently throughout the course of the day in this 170-second spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance.
Я на 13-16, Сергей.
Sergey, I am on 1316.
Вижу, Саша.
I can see it, Sasha.
Хорошо. Фиксирую сначала держать, а потом продолжать.
I will first secure the holder and then I will install the cable into it. Affirmative.
Федор,
Fyodor? Yes?
слушай, а там никаких
Listen, are there any
фотографировать, пока мы на свету?
chances to take a few photos while we're in the sunlight?
Эту трассу я тебе сфотографирую
I will
второго.
take photos of this route at MRM2. Copy
Как она будет
everything,
спокойно.
and it will not be any problem.
Фотографии. Да.
Agreed.
Тогда только тот стык, где
Then only the interface
по возможности.
Да.
PMH
Попробуем, да. Сейчас я
and
говорю за Сашу.
MRM. Yes. Right now I am
Конечно. Я и тебе
watching Sasha.
Да, и,
Yes, I understand. That's why I was asking
да, и
for your advice before giving you
ну, наверное, так же на этом
a task.
да?
So
31.
I believe it will. That cable will be here on 10:31. Yes, exactly.
Ну вот я на этом
Okay. Then
закреплю ее и
I will secure it on the same
держатели.
handrail, and then I will proceed with locking the holders. Exactly.
Так. Идем. Потом, Саша,
Okay.
на пальцах. Кто кого катать будет, если успеет.
Okay. And then we'll be flipping the coin with Sasha. Who's gonna carry home?
Я думаю, надо Сашу покатать, а, Саша? Я думаю, того, кто будет.
I believe Sasha could use a free ride. Well, probably. Whoever will be closer will use a chance. Okay.
А потом я боюсь.
And on top of all, I'm afraid.
Нет, просто на самом деле.
No, really.
Совершенно другое ощущение.
The feeling is so different.
Я когда видел сбоку клея, как его на армию возили. Ой.
I remember that sensation when I was next to Clay when he was flying on the arm. Well, that was long time ago.
Сингапурских авиалиний.
And there are no flight attendants from Singapore Air here. Okay, we still have 3 hours of work, so let's hold on to that subject. Stop. Okay, sir.
This is Mission Control Houston. That reference by Fyodor Yurchikhin and his conversation with Russian flight controllers pertaining to the first spacewalk that he did in a U.S. spacesuit during Expedition 15, along with former astronaut Clay Anderson, when they ventured outside the Quest airlock of the International Space Station on July 23, 2007, for a 7-hour, 41-minute spacewalk, referencing Anderson holding a huge ammonia reservoir tank that was ultimately discarded by Anderson during that spacewalk as he rode at the end of the Canadarm2 robotic arm.
Okay. You're hidden now. Seriously, I think we should leave it right here and tighten it later.
Федор, метка появилась?
Further, do you see the mark? Not yet.
Понятно.
Copy. A little bit more. What I'm saying is we should leave everything as is.
Ну,
And while Sasha is releasing it. Well, I'm at the plate right now. Well, you can arrange everything here.
Федор, надо будет тебе идти сейчас.
Yes, Fedor?
И надо идти.
As soon as you see the mark, you'll have to start translating. Yes, absolutely. Just as agreed. But right now, I do have a minute. I will tighten 1031.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято.
This is Mission Control Houston at the 5-hour, 34-minute mark into the spacewalk today. The view from Alexander Mazurkin's helmet camera, a good view of the second of the two connector patch panels, to which the second of the power cables is being terminated at the moment. The stringing of this second of two power cables by Fyodor Yurchikhin from the Zarya module's forward end to the Poisk module now almost complete. As the crew continues to work ahead of the timeline, there will be a series of connectors that will be mated right at this patch panel now that its thermal protection flap has been opened up. Mazurkin will connect the various connectors to the correct ports, then close up the panel once again to complete the second routing of this second power cable from Zarya to Poisk. The two power cables that are being routed today by the two cosmonauts, along with an Ethernet cable, will be preparatory work for the launching of the Russian multipurpose laboratory module atop a Proton rocket and its ultimate arrival at the International Space Station to replace the Pirs docking compartment that is nearing the 12th anniversary of its launch as a Russian docking port and airlock for Russian spacewalks.
Okay, 1031 is all tightened, both holders are in. Sasha, I'm standing by for you to begin releasing the cable.
Саш,
Sasha? Yes?
я так понимаю, с фиксирующей платой ты заканчиваешь.
I understand that you're almost done with the plate, right? Yes.
Хорошо.
Very good.
Заканчиваю с фиксирующей платой.
Okay, go ahead and finish it up, and then release the cable
У Федора до синей метки.
on
И дальше
until the blue mark on further. And my next proposal would be for you to take a break for about 3 minutes, and further should start translating and tightening the cables in the process. Yes, in the meantime, Sasha will take a short break and then we'll continue. Okay. Next cable.
This is Mission Control Houston. More words from the flight control team in Moscow at the Russian Mission Control Center, basically indicating that Mazurkin and Yurchikin should take a short break of a few minutes, and then they'll pick up work to pick up the slack in the second of these two power cables that have been strung between the Zarya module and the Poisk module of the International Space Station, all preparatory work for the arrival of a new multi-purpose laboratory module that the Russians will launch atop a Proton rocket.
Okay, first blue mark is in my hands. Федор Николаевич, I'm ready. Okay. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, it keeps coming. Here are next marks, just a little bit more. Okay.
Федор, у тебя метки есть?
Further, do you have the marks? Affirmative. I've already secured them and started translating. Copy. Sasha, take a break.
Пусть немного руки восстановятся.
You need to give your arms a rest. Rehabilitate. Okay, let's give my arms a chance. And after a short rest, I will use the wrench to secure it on 1503. And those are the same for 1501 and 03. Okay. Right now, guys, relax your hands. At least 4 minutes. The timer is on.
Федор, через 7 минут у нас...
Further. Sunset is in 7 minutes. Copy. Sergey, I'd rather take my break during eclipse.
Давай, Саш.
Okay, Sash. It's not hard thing that I need to do right now. Okay.
Продолжай, если не отдохнешь.
All right, please proceed and take a break at sunset. Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston. The International Space Station is passing into an orbital sunset, about to fly to the south of Ireland and over London on this orbit of the Earth. Fyodor Yurchikhin in the 7th spacewalk of his career, and Alexander Mazurkin in the 2nd of his career. Now 5 hours, 45 minutes into today's excursion to string a pair of power cables and an Ethernet cable between the Zarya module of the International Space Station and the Poisk module in preparation for the arrival and further hookup of cabling to a new multipurpose laboratory module that the Russians will launch on a Proton rocket to replace the Pirs docking compartment. The spacewalk is in the home stretch as Yurchikhin and Mazurkin work in tandem to pick up the slack on this second power cable that was routed through a series of handrails between Zarya and Poisk and to wire tie it in place. It is unlikely that any other tasks will be added to today's spacewalk. One get-ahead task was accomplished, that being the installation of the second of 2 gap spanners between the Poisk module and the Zvezda service module earlier in today's excursion. Those gap spanners serve as a translation path, if you will, between various modules on the Russian segment of the International Space Station where no handrails exist. During the spacewalk today, with Yurchikhin and Mazurkin working outside, Station Commander Pavel Vinogradov and NASA flight engineer Chris Cassidy have been isolated in the Poisk module of the International Space Station and their Soyuz TMA-08M spacecraft, as the flight rules call for. Karen Nyberg, the NASA flight engineer, and her crewmate, Luca Parmitano of the European Space Agency, have been moving about the U.S. segment of the complex, conducting scientific research and other end-of-the-week maintenance activities. The 6 crew members plan a fairly relaxing weekend coming up before they press back into action on Monday. Yurchikhin and Mazurkin particularly, with no time to lose, will be reviewing today's spacewalk with specialists at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov on Monday, recharging the batteries for their Russian Orlan spacesuits and reviewing timeline activities and procedures for their next excursion out of the Pirs docking compartment next Thursday, just 6 days from now, in which they'll conduct yet another spacewalk to this time remove a laser communication system experiment from the hull of the Zvezda service module and replace it with a swiveling platform that will house a small optical telescope to be installed on a future spacewalk after that. They also will remove a docking target from the Pirs docking compartment.
Routine 03 is secured. Copy. Expressed.
На 15:01.
1501 is also secured.
Наручники 13:0.
Cable holders on 1306.
Завязал.
I tied 1500. Tied white eye. Copy, Sasha. Федор, Sasha.
Есть предложение.
We propose
10 минут.
to rest for 10 minutes. Sergey, I haven't done much at all. I will be very slow. Let me just get to the next one. Okay, I understand.
Давай, все. У тебя 10 минут.
And then you'll have 10 minutes, you know. I started the time. I will get cold in 10 minutes.
Во-первых, это самое, вы за счет теплоощущений.
And how you feeling? Feeling okay? Actually, I warmed up already.
Давай,
Okay, Sasha.
я за счет...
I checked 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes rest. Okay,
Пропал.
disappeared.
Добрый компарус. Он уже должен быть под твою фигуру. Компарус?
That should match me.
Саш,
Okay.
Все, да. Стою.
а зачем тебе идти на мир?
You don't need to go to MIM. You can stay where you are.
Не, я никуда не...
I'm not planning to go anywhere.
Просто встал, там, застрял, я вот репетировал.
I just the tether is stuck here, so I'm gonna stay here.
Сейчас, чтобы руки...
You need to restore your hands now.
Саш, как чувствуешь себя?
Sash, how are you doing?
Саш, как чувствуешь себя?
Yes, great.
Ну, давай тогда продолжим.
Okay, let's continue. Okay.
Так,
Okay.
что у нас здесь?
Да, можешь теперь переходить спокойно на мир. Да, можешь теперь переходить спокойно на мир.
You can go to MIM right now.
Только надо не забыть в чек переходить. Не будете возражать, Сергей, если я и уж третий кабель...
Wouldn't you mind if I will also
Не буду.
attach the third cable to 6008? I would not mind. Okay.
зафиксировал кабель на 60.
Attach the cable to 6008, copy.
Тебе зеркало не мешает работать?
Подними осталось.
How about the top of it? It's not interfering. No, it's not.
Подними получилось очень даже.
It's actually very good.
Но если считаешь, что больше нигде прихватывать не
So
надо,
if you think it does not need to be secured anywhere else,
Я имею в виду глубину от 15.00 и туда дальше.
unintelligible.
Сейчас я скажу точно, что
I'll tell you exactly what I think I need.
Ethernet все-таки длинный.
Ethernet cable is long.
Саш, имей в виду, это
Sasha, this is Ethernet. Just keep it in mind. I understand.
Я понимаю, что это Ethernet.
I understand it's Ethernet.
потому что мы с Олегом одно время разговаривали с Котовым.
I talked to Alec Kotov some time ago.
Он говорит, лишнего перегнешь, потом
He said if you bend it
по этим мегабайтам.
anytime extra, you will be paying with megabytes for it.
Я понял ваш.
I copy your hint.
Это типа ты для Олега стараешься?
So, are you trying extra for Oleg?
Ему словить. Так, 13.
Okay, 1310.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято.
Да, нет, не принят.
No,
А базу-то хорошо
I
проверь.
have to check it again.
Это же... А ты мне не подсказал.
Нет, база была затянута.
Это нет.
That one was
Да?
tightened.
Как-то мне не понравилось.
I didn't like it.
Ну, подтяни, но мы затягивали.
Tighten it more. If you need to, but it has been tightened, I understand.
Второй тоже проверил.
I'll check the other one as well.
Давай на всякий случай, да, действительно.
Yes, why not?
This is Mission Control Houston. We have hit the 6-hour mark into today's spacewalk. We're in the home stretch as Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin are taking up the slack along the series of handrails through which they strung the second of two power cables from the Zarya module's forward section to the Poisk module, which is an intermediary stopping point en route to its ultimate destination, which will be electrical connections on the multi-purpose laboratory module once it arrives at the International Space Station following its launch atop a Russian Proton rocket. That new MLM, as it is known by its acronym or the name Nauka, the Russian word for science, will be used in a threefold fashion as a research laboratory, a new docking port replacing the Pirs docking compartment that will be jettisoned, and an airlock for future Russian spacewalks.
Copy, Sasha.
The two spacewalkers began their day's activities with the opening of the hatch to the Pirs docking compartment at 9:39 a.m. Central Time today. They moved out with Yurchikhin riding a telescoping boom named straa, the Russian word for arrow, from the Operators post area near the Piers docking compartment all the way out to the forward portion of the Zarya module to begin setting up all of the tools and equipment and a universal cable carrying reel housing 3 sets of cables, the 2 power cables that have been strung and 1 Ethernet cable that was routed appropriately earlier today. All 3 of those major tasks were completed, along with the other major task of today's EVA, the securing of a new panel of material science samples called the Vinoslavost experiment, the Russian word for endurance, that will be housed on a handrail on the Poisk module of the International Space Station to collect data on the effect of the microgravity environment on those material science samples.
You probably have to go back to thermal adapter. You can go further. Oh, no. Why? Maybe Sasha should go. Okay, you can try. And I will see you off. What questions do you have? There's nothing else to do. You know, let's go together. Maybe we'll be just helping each other. Okay, sounds good. We can just use straa to return to the operator post. Guys, stop.
Давайте поговорим.
Let's talk.
Смотри, Федор,
See,
ты сможешь
Федор,
разобраться с 2 этими кабелями?
will you be able to figure it out by yourself what to do with the cables with the U.S. ends? Yes, but I think you wanted also to take photos.
Ситуация такая, за бортом.
But the thing is that we have 6 hours and 7 minutes already that you've been working. Then how about we use straa? Okay, Sergey, copy. And I will go to the operator post. I will get there, I will rest. You will continue. You will rest and yet you will just travel. I think that will be better. That would be more correct. Copy. Fyodor, when you are done with the U.S. connectors, we will be in insulation. Yes. And then you'll have a chance to take photos and we'll be getting out. We'll have 18 minutes till installation. All right. I'd like to take some pictures.
Сергей Сергеевич, у вас там образ сложился по камере, как дела здесь стоят?
And can you see the cables on the cone? Does it look all right? I mean, all the cables. Or do I need to turn my head somewhat so that you will see, you will have a better view? We will have a picture not soon. We don't have a picture now. Oh, okay.
Поэтому давай потихонечку.
Тогда я иду, забираю файл.
Then I will get the adjustable tether.
Этот файл.
Yes.
Перемещайся в сторону.
And move towards the operator post.
В сторону поста оператора.
All right.
This is Mission Control Houston. The direction from the flight control team at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow, indicating that the crew, which has been working extremely efficiently and right on the timeline since the beginning of the spacewalk this morning, should catch a few minutes of rest at this point, have an opportunity while it is still orbital daylight to document all the work it has accomplished in routing 2 power cables and an Ethernet cable from the Zarya module to a connection point at the Poisk module, after which they will assess where we're at with the overall elapsed time for today's activities and, in all likelihood, tell the crew that it is time to return to the Piers docking compartment airlock.
I think it's not bad here at all. It's almost beautiful. The only nuance, the Ethernet cable is not always between Russian Nicholas Step cables. Between 15.3 and 15.02, it is crossing over the first Russian Nicholas cable on the cone. There's no other way to place them. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing you very well right now. I will speak a little louder. No. That's just a Retracting, that's all. Let's talk about it later. When you get to the operator post, we'll talk when you are there. Okay. Fyodor, how are you? I am basically next to the cone, to the thermal adapter. Yes, to the pressurized adapter. Yes. I passed by Paros. from him about the bundle again.
Сбой был.
They're breaking up.
Еще раз. Сбой был. Практически.
Alex will copy.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято. 10:30.
10:31. Handrail. Copy.
Принято. Вот стою 10:31, 10:30, 10:50.
10:31, 10:30, 10:50.
И есть СЭС-2 и СЭС-1 кабели.
I will start with the first two cables.
Так как бы не сильно так. Все, я понимаю. Значит, их надо
So they should be
решение расположить и
placed in parallel.
Правильно.
Yes.
тогда начну с СЭС-1.
I will start with S1. Correct.
Федор, значит, это самое. Лучше всего к стойке 10:35. Вот.
10:35. Stanchion is the best. Right in front. 10:35.
Это который вот параллельно.
That's in parallel to the target here. That's the one I was thinking about.
То есть они как вот параллельно идут, так параллельно лягут около
So in parallel next to, on both sides of the target, placed in parallel to each other. Correct.
Сергей Сергеевич,
Sergey,
я на посту оператора.
I am at operator post. Copy, Sasha. And I have the adjustable tether. Yes.
Пока мы Федору мешать не будем, расскажи, что
Вы-
ты хотел сказать.
Вопрос.
Okay, we'll leave Fyodor alone for now, and you'll tell us what you wanted to tell me.
Хотел сказать, что
I wanted to say the Ethernet cable supposed to be between Russian necklace cables, but at 1553 through 1501, it is actually crossing the first Russian necklace cable because it's at 1500. It will not be other way to place them differently. This is not too bad. And
я хотел уточнить с вами
I also wanted to discuss with you
маршрут моего передвижения.
how would I move from the operator post to DC.
Да, получается? Будет быстро. Я думал, палка. Палка, в смысле?
By Strela, I think. Yeah,
Но ему по бороде надо будет.
along. Breaking up.
И тут самое кольцо-то с этой
But the ring is on this side.
Ну, это все понятно, да.
That's understood.
Ну, Саша, осторожно, на свету, я думаю, это будет...
But I think it will be faster to do that in installation than using handrails.
Хорошо.
All right,
Договорились.
agreed.
Договорились. Так, а то, что он ложится...
And the fact that it is sitting on top here, is it all right?
31.
Are you talking about?
Ты понимаешь, я бы его...
This is Mission Control Houston. Conversation ongoing with the Russian Flight Control Team, which now appears to be inclined to offer an extension for today's spacewalk for Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin by a few minutes so that they can retract the Strela boom, the telescoping boom that was used to transport Fyodor Yurchikhin with the universal cable carrier from the operator's post at the Piers docking compartment airlock all the way out to the forward end of the Zarya module for the start of today's work to
Yes.
route a pair of power cables from Zarya to the Poisk module, as well as an Ethernet cable. The extension of the spacewalk was always a get-ahead task that was built into the timeline if the crew was up to the task and if the crew had worked ahead of the timeline, which they have been throughout the course of the day. So we'll be standing by for further words, but it now appears as if they will complete the work to retract the straa boom and to cradle it by the airlock hatch at the Piers docking compartment where it normally resides.
Adjust straa. I probably will not be touching the back part of straa. That will be faster. You think about it, what the support is going to be. The support should be there. We can remove it during EVA 35. You can leave it on straa boom. Sure, let's keep it on straa boom. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Так. Поручень 10:30.
10:35. 31. US connectors. Yes.
Закрепил?
Did you attach them?
Или занимаешься?
Oh, it's in work. Yes.
Принято.
Copy. Finishing.
Хорошо.
Tightening it.
Да.
Саш, ты как? Я нормально.
How is it? It's normal.
Не так быстро, как в прошлый раз.
Not as fast as last time. Interference.
Так, есть.
Copy.
Принято.
Copy.
Так, на них ни чехлов, ничего нету, поэтому...
So, no covers here, so I guess we'll leave it in this condition.
Чехлов там нет.
Yes, no covers.
Свои визуальные оценки.
But what will your visual assessment?
Которые там лежат.
It should not be a problem to mate the connectors that are sitting there. Do you think?
Тут такой...
You know, this tail, if it would be like half a meter longer, it would be able to throw it to the US segment. The connectors are facing opposite from each other. Two towards the US segment and one is facing our side. This is how it should be. Correct. Okay.
Так, и этот аналогичный.
And this one similar.
Только на 10:30. Да, да.
Correct.
Да, вопросов нет.
Copy. Interference.
Так.
Inaudible.
Саш.
Да, Сергей Сергеевич.
Слушай, давай, ты набирайся сил.
Sasha, okay. Get some energy, get a break, and let Fodor finish. Well, Fodor is finishing up.
Ну, как ты себя вообще чувствуешь? По температуре, по
Well, how are you feeling? Temperature, your overall well-being?
Хорошо, я вот к нему прилип. Меня
Why are you bugging him?
чувствует он. А что, кого-то что-то смущает?
Oh, how about asking
ничего не
me?
смущает.
Are you bothered? Are you worried about something specific? No, everything is fine.
Просто у нас за бортом 6 часов 25 минут.
It's just 6 hours, 5 minutes outside.
Или связь такая.
Inaudible.
Это, наверное,
It
связь.
must be the comm.
Федор, был небольшой перерыв связи. Что-нибудь говорили?
Were you saying anything?
Сразу скажешь, и тут же напомнишь.
It's just you would say something and then you
Цену набиваешь, а это был перерыв.
you say something and then you stop. It looks like you're trying to raise the stakes, and as a matter of fact, it's just calm.
Совсем не так, как было раньше.
Well, you see, calm this time is not like it used to be.
Особенно много фона и
There's a lot of background noise and static.
Значит, на 10,
At
30
10:30,
кабель, 27 КСМ,
27 KSM
15, 150,
15153
20, 19,
0 закрыть.
dash 3. I am closing on the.
один в нашу закреплен.
Принято, Федор.
I'm closing
Где-то с
the
полметра.
connector to the
Хорошо.
in the direction of the S segment. Okay, copy.
Ну что, я предлагаю заняться мероприятием, Федор.
Well, I recommend you start the following activity, Fyodor, is clean up.
Все-таки сфотографировать вот
And if possible, take a photograph
Рассвет.
of this location.
Потому что сейчас могу, конечно.
Well, I can try to take a photograph
Нет, минут
under these lamps. Well, another, say, 5 minutes or so.
Ребят, ну я возьму сейчас фотоаппарат на себя.
Well, I can take a.
На себе. Вот ребята, которые здесь будут соединять, они должны все-таки подтянуть.
Oh, they can. They will need to tighten the cables. What do you mean?
Понял, да? Ну, потому что один провис вот этот, хотя он маркерами на 1031 прилеплен.
А, хорошо, Федор, я понял.
Пошел рассвет. Да, да. Так, пошел рассвет.
Okay, the sun is coming up.
Хорошо.
Okay, so I'm going to try take photographs. Okay, which direction should I rotate it to?
Ногами топора было. Так.
Inaudible?
Так, лишнее, сейчас, ну и что, здесь у нас лишняя проволока.
Well, we have excessive wire. Let me pull that up.
Которую мы с тобой
Okay, the one we left.
две прикрутили,
We did the one we
твои ребята
didn't
так все прикрутили как надо.
because the guy secured it the way it should be.
Вот эта штука, конечно, очень классная.
Well,
За исключением как...
except for cable holders, the rest here is just
Ну вот видишь,
really making our day. Well, you see,
мы ее
you know what you were saying. It's bad. We don't want it.
Не-не-не,
It is so good. When we saw the cables, to tell you the truth,
сразу сказал, не, без этой...
we were thinking,
Да, начиналось, я серьезно говорю, что были думы без нее пойти.
Ну что, я рад за то, что мы все-таки умеем еще
well, we're glad that we're still able to make tools that help the crews do their work. Yes, that's true.
Проволоку зацепил, ключ на место.
This is Mission Control Houston. As we approach the 6.5-hour mark into the spacewalk today, this view from we were watching the view from the helmet camera of Alexander Mazurkin back at the operator's post at the base of the 46-foot-long straa boom that was used to transport Fyodor Yurchikhin and a universal cable carrier, 3 cable reels basically on a cradle, over to the Zarya module for the start of today's work, in which the crew worked in tandem to route a pair of power cables and an Ethernet cable from the Zarya module to the Poisk module in advance of the arrival of the Russian multipurpose laboratory module to be launched on a Russian Proton rocket. The decision was made to retract the straa boom as a get-ahead task, with the crew in good shape and working essentially ahead of its timeline today. The cradle in which the cable carrier was housed will remain on the straa boom and will be retrieved during the next spacewalk next Thursday by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin. The actual cable reel itself will be brought back inside the Piers docking compartment.
You're talking about the handrails? Yeah, it's just rain stars.
Саш, пока базируюсь.
Sasha, all your...
Так, в 2 словах, польза этого MUT этой работы.
Some information about using MUT during this activity of...
Взял бы ты его сейчас еще раз. Не взял бы.
Oh, do you think you would use it? No, I wouldn't use MUT.
Хорошо.
Okay.
Хорошо.
Ага. Но знаешь, сколько ни говори халва.
Well, but you know, no matter how many times you're saying sweet, you know, we'll make it all sweeter.
Промазали.
You know where we missed a thing or two? Where?
Вот сейчас у тебя нет фотоаппарата.
Right now, you do not have a camera.
А было бы...
Well, who knew? Speaking simultaneously.
Ну, это да.
Yes, I agree. It's a miss.
А мы с Федором думали...
And Fyodor and myself, Pavel,
знаешь, здесь надо...
well, you know, we need to position ourselves here somehow. I will try.
И не позбывать при этом.
And at the same time, we need to make sure we don't knock things down all around us. Do you see the camera right now? You see our cables right now? Yes. Basically, there are no loose cables. There are no loops, but at the same time, they're not too tight.
Нет, ну это бесполезно.
Well, you know, it's useless.
Федор, заканчивай.
Fyodor, finish up.
Складывай стрелу.
Finish up. We're going to fold trellis.
Все, запорочек какой-нибудь.
Let me
Затоплю.
secure it to a handrail.
Ёлки. Знаешь, в ноги некуда.
You know, there's nowhere to put my feet even.
Николай, садитесь на УКП.
Okay.
Я же меня в другую сторону.
Well, go to UKP. Well, now, I think I'm going in the other direction.
Для того, чтобы фотографировать, надо устроиться.
In order to take photographs, you need to
Здесь кабели.
get comfortable.
А вот сюда, влево, вниз, глянь.
We'll take a look here.
Вот прям под левой рукой. О, молодец.
Here under your left hand.
Вы там
Федор.
Inaudible.
Да не, нормально. А ты эту
Да, еще на минуту.
очки сними. Фотозащиты.
Take your protective goggles off.
Кто этих ежиков понастроил?
Whoever even set up those porcupine-like structures.
Федор.
Да.
Fyodor,
Закончили. Надо уходить.
wrap it up. You need to go. Okay, that's it.
Да.
Yes.
Такой кардебалет мне не нужен.
I don't need this ballet-like
Менять позу, перестегнуться.
movements. I need to
Да, давай, заготовь стрелу к отстыковке.
get ready to
Возвращаться домой.
with the straa. Get ready with the straa, and we'll be going back home.
Время за бортом 6 часов 37 минут.
Okay, time outside, guys. 6 hours 37 minutes. Copy. Okay, we're wrapping it up.
Так, фотоаппарат.
Camera is inside. The crew look bag is closed.
Принайтован. Так, Сань, прихожу я. Так, отстыковываю УКП.
I'm going to disconnect UKP.
Все, чтобы он свободный был. Ага. Чтобы сюда не возвращался.
So make sure it's all free, so we don't have to come back.
Так. Семен, извини с фотографиями, но
I'm sorry about the photographs. If we had at least 10 minutes.
жизни.
Нет, все, возвращай.
No, guys, go back.
Да, я это потом побавить им рисую.
Okay, I will
Так, иду.
do a drawing later. Okay, I'm going to the base.
At the 6-hour, 35-minute mark into the spacewalk, Alexander Mazurkin and the view from his helmet camera at the operator's post at the base of the 46-foot-long straa boom, straa being the Russian word for arrow, the telescoping boom that helps to transport crew members from one area of the Russian segment of the station to another during their spacewalks.
Принято.
Okay, copy.
Fyodor Yurchikhin is back at the forward area of the Zarya module, wrapping up a few final photographs and some cleanup work before he will be ready to rejoin Mazurkin as well. And for the straa boom to be retracted and secured at the Piers docking compartment. And that will be the end of today's spacewalk with the crew members moving back inside Piers to close the hatch and complete this 172nd spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance.
Значит, как там тело? Тело переменные.
Flying 260 miles over the South Pacific, Yurchikin and Mazurkin have completed all of their work for today's spacewalk, having moved outside the Piers docking compartment at 9:39 a.m. Central Time today.
Battery to the solar array, and if we let go, it can pull up.
Может, вы тогда один фал сразу перестегнете, а второй... Один я сразу на кольцо поставлю.
Okay, then I will put one.
Вот, а второй, это потом.
I secure one to the ring.
Ну и где у нас, блин, с той стороны?
Okay, that's on that side. So from this side.
Сейчас еще фал перестегну. Он же всегда подкатит.
This is usual that tether got under the cable.
Я же говорю, сегодня мы с тобой роли кабелирующих.
See, today we are the cable people.
Сейчас, знаешь что, я его сразу...
You know I'm going to secure it here right away. I'm going to secure it
Саша.
to also Sasha.
Поднять, чтобы мы увидели Федора.
Can you lift the straw a little bit so we can see Fyodor?
Попробуем. Вот он. Саш, я аккуратненько опору и держу стрелу.
Okay, I'm going to hold Trella.
Так, хорошо.
Okay.
Я начинаю чуть-чуть приподниму вас.
I'm going to lift you a little bit from the radiator.
Радиатора можешь? За радиатором или за...
It's saying...
За батарею.
Я за тем, за другим. Я все вижу, Николаевич.
Yes, I see everything, Fyodor Nikolaevich. Just,
Нет, я ее брать не буду.
just don't shake it.
На нее потом. Все карабины отцеплены. Сейчас. Смотрю.
Notable.
Да, должны быть все. Сейчас опора. Не спеши тут. Все. Опора. Ага. Соскочил.
Okay, yes, the
Так, и я
base is off.
вода не пошла
I'm going to be here on this side,
в сторону СБ.
so it doesn't go
Хорошо. Чуть-чуть
in the other direction. I'm going to lift it a little bit. Go ahead.
вот отошла, да?
So it's moving. Yes.
А сама наша УПП там за...
And as you can see, Alexander Mazurkin now using the hand crank at the operator's post of the Strela boom to begin its retraction back toward the Piers docking compartment, where it will be stowed with the cradle that housed the universal cable carrier still
Very precise movement.
tied down to the end effector of that Strela boom. It will stay out there. The carrier itself will be brought inside, but the cradle upon which those 3 reels of cable were housed, that will remain tied down to the end effector of the Strela to be retrieved by Yurchikin and Mazurkin next Thursday during their next spacewalk.
Сейчас поедем
Okay, we're going to
относительно по ББ.
to go starboard and up in relation to FGB. Okay. Inaudible.
Inaudible. Inaudible without interference. Inaudible. Are you ready to proceed? Okay, let's go on. Well, I can already move my hands over here and look at you. Sasha, look, there's the antenna. We're moving right above it. Okay, rotor up. Yes, up in relation to your body. Hold on. Let's fold. Oh, do you see the boom? Yes, I do. So now I'm folding. Okay, I will not see how much to fold right now to retract. Well, the middle of the solar array should be your reference point. Okay.
Reversing path from what was the case earlier today at the start of the spacewalk, Fyodor Yurchikhin affixed to the end of the 46-foot-long Strela boom with the universal cable carrier now empty of 3 reels of cable, 2 power cables and an Ethernet cable, in all about 120 feet of cable that was routed from the Zarya module to the Poisk module and affixed to a connector, a patch panel in all 3 cases, 3 separate patch panel, or 2 separate patch panels for the 2 power cables, the Ethernet cable, a wire tied down to a handrail. All of this work in advance of the launching of a Russian laboratory module on a Proton rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. That launch no earlier than the end of this year.
Race, the one that's hanging on the beam. That was not going to affect the retraction. That's what I meant. No, everything is fine. We're doing fine. Sasha, would you move up a little bit? No, I'm just going to move the support up a little bit. So should I continue? Yes, please. Okay. That's it. I'll go on. Just I'm trying to avoid a situation where it's going to move in that direction on the solar arrays. Vicky, do you remember, was it fully collapsed, fully folded? Well, we'll get to the middle. We'll stop. I'm talking about the middle of the solar array. And then we'll start moving. Do you know where to... where to move? Because I don't see the position yet. Inaudible? I think it's enough retraction already. Okay, now we're going to go up. I think it's moving pretty well, yes. And this is the U.S. Segment radiator.
О, Сань, закончим мы эту работу, приедем на эти острова.
Well,
Да, это мои любимые.
these are my favorite islands.
Атоллы. Кошечка.
We'll go after we're done with work.
А Борис там тоже замерз. А Владимирович тоже хочет.
I think Pavel Vladimirovich wants to go to the islands as well.
Так, я к радиатору приближаюсь.
I'm getting closer to the radiator.
Так, теперь можно поедем.
Okay. Now we can move.
Налево. Налево не едут, налево ходят.
To the left.
Ходите.
Well, you don't ride to the left. You walk. You go to the left. Oh, you can go to the left and sideways.
Так. Видите, вот еще что-то. Ну ладно, давайте поедем.
Okay.
Да.
Motion port side.
Смотрю. Не, а мы по углом идем.
We're going at an angle.
Проходим.
No, I think we'll fit through.
На ИСО вы там сможете прицелиться?
Could you?
Не, ну не сейчас. Да, ближе к ИСО, конечно.
Could you aim?
Небо нашу красивую. Так, батареи мы
We've
прошли. Я так
We've passed the solar rays.
пока.
Hold on.
Я скажу, куда пройдем.
I will let you know when we've passed the
Да, да.
solar rays.
Вам там видно ее, нет? Кого? Ну, что мы сейчас батареи вверх пройдем. А, все.
Can you see
Да, я...
Can you see that we're passing the solar rays? Yes, I see it.
Я вижу. О, отлично.
Okay, that's great.
Almost 7 hours into the spacewalk, Fyodor Yurchikhin nearing his final destination back at the Piers docking compartment. being reeled in by Alexander Mazurkin at the operator's post at the base of the telescoping Strela boom that was used earlier today to transport Yurchikhin to the forward portion of the Zarya module with 3 reels of cable, 2 power cables and an Ethernet cable that were routed and
I don't see you.
put in place to span the distance between the Zarya module and the Poisk module in preparation for the arrival of a new laboratory complex, the multi-purpose laboratory module, to be launched on a Proton rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
Stop.
Stop. We went too far to the side. And yes, you are standing in parallel. Okay. Okay, let me fix it. Together. Did we pass the line? I want to stop. Stop. Solar ray, yes. Okay, we can lower it slowly. Let me turn around. You'll need to extend it. Yes, I will let you know. Sasha, just a bit to the right. And where is right? Okay, now. Straight and down. Okay. Further. We're moving towards the SKK. Stop. Yes. Stop. And now move carefully and lower down. Stop. Do you feel like going to the other side? Stand by. I'm not rotating. Yes. I'm translating to the other side. How is target doing? I will move it a bit to the right. But so far, don't worry about contact. It's not a threat right now. Okay. I have tether in my hand. Stop.
Стоп, стоп, стоп.
Stop, stop, stop.
Так. Все.
Okay.
Нет, а я ее
It's secured.
подтянули, а потом...
You retracted it, but then when you'll be extending it again, you know what? I will retract KD,
Сброшу его туда.
put it down. Is that okay? Yes.
Да, и потом я чуть-чуть ее... Да.
And then,
Фиксирую его. Потом мы...
again, I will
Пока он там...
secure it, and then, while it's still there,
Федор,
Further,
Владимир Алексеевич тебе говорит, что...
Vladimir Alexeyevich is reminding you that you are outside for 7 hours by now. Thank you, Vladimir Alexeyevich, but you see,
Фу-фу.
we're doing great so far.
Спасибо, ребятам.
And thank you, Zvezda guys.
И патроны,
Все, давай,
And thank you for the lives.
причаливай.
Okay, Fyodor. Berthing and going home. Okay, yes.
Я укапываю.
The Strela boom has been fully retracted and is now tied down to a series of handrails near the hatchway to the Piers docking compartment. The crew just 2 minutes shy now of a 7-hour spacewalk, so they'll exceed that by a few minutes. The next task for the crew will be to take an inventory of all of their tools and to move back inside the Piers docking compartment, remove the protective ring around the hatchway, and then close the hatch to mark the official end of today's spacewalk.
Так, есть. Сейчас
Okay.
Так. Ручку. Фиксации.
A handle,
Замок.
a lock.
Николай, сильно ее вправо нет.
Nikolai,
Нет, от мест вправо.
don't let it go to...
This spacewalk today will be the longest Russian spacewalk conducted since Yurchikhin joined NASA astronaut Clay Anderson outside in a U.S. Spacesuit EVA outside of the Quest airlock during Expedition 15 back on July 23rd, 2007. At that time, out of the 7 spacewalks Yurchikhin has conducted, 6 of them now in Orlan spacesuits. That one, lasting 7 hours 41 minutes, was conducted in U.S. spacesuits out of the Quest airlock.
Федор, как только будет возможность, Саша,
Further,
переходить.
as soon as you have a chance, Sasha will have to translate because he still has certain, length to
Да-да-да.
cross. Yes,
Все понятно.
I understand.
Есть.
Here we go.
Ты как, Саш? Я нормально, как бы.
Are you okay? We're fine.
Если там стрелу подопустить, если вы силой тягаете, скажите.
Okay, tell me if you want to release it. No, I am not.
Что?
I am trying to
Просто...
take care of Strela.
Тут антенны еще одни.
Okay, there are more antennas. Okay, that's it.
Теперь УКП.
Now I'm disconnecting OKP,
Вытягиваемся.
and then we'll be retracting. We'll be extending the Strela. Okay, just watch me. Okay, I'm watching.
Так, УКП свободен.
Okay, OKP is free.
Принято.
Copy.
Стрелочку
No.
вниз опущу.
Did you lower it?
Я УКП.
Just a moment. Let me move OKP here.
Пока. Там меня антенны не несут.
see if I can contact antenna. No, you cannot.
Знаете, какая сила.
Okay, that's
Так, и
not too bad. And now? OKP is down now.
пока.
For now. Okay.
Хорошо.
Да ничего. Пока.
Okay.
Федор,
Так, все, Саша.
Okay, Fyodor, Sasha.
Да. Все, переходи.
Okay,
давай
go ahead and start transfer.
через 9 минут мы вас потеряем
Move.
на 10 минут.
Because in 9 minutes we will lose you for 10 minutes. Copy.
Чтобы включили
And
к тому моменту.
by that time, we want you to have your sublimator on.
Нет, не сейчас, по команде.
Activated. No, not now. On our go. Okay.
Саш, переходи. Надо успеть.
Sasha, translate.
Да, Сергей, я пошел.
Yes, I started moving.
This is Mission Control Houston. The International Space Station is flying just to the northwest of a swirling mass of clouds out in the Gulf of Mexico, just north of the Yucatan Peninsula, that the National Hurricane Center has been keeping its eye on, with a 50% chance for possible tropical development over the next 48 hours and a 60% chance over the next 5 days as it moves slowly and meanders to the north-northwest of the Yucatan Peninsula.
Hopefully, I'll be next to come inside. Yes, I also wanted to tell you, go inside.
Ой, Саша подходит.
Well, Sasha is approaching me too.
Мы его видим.
Yes, we can see him.
Мы его видим.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are now in excess of 7 hours on this spacewalk and approaching uncharted territory. for Russian cosmonauts Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin. We have received a revised hatch open time from the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov. Earlier we said that the spacewalk began at 9:39 a.m. Central Time. That has been revised with the actual hatch opening now officially logged at 9:36 a.m. Central Time. So we currently sit at a 7-hour, 10-minute spacewalk, and we are just 6 minutes away from the longest spacewalk ever conducted by Russian cosmonauts, a pair of Russian cosmonauts, that having been accomplished back in the days of the Mir space station in July of 1990, when Anatoly Solovyev and Alexander Balandin conducted a 7-hour, 16-minute spacewalk to repair thermal insulation on the exterior of the Mir space station. So we'll keep our eye on the clock, but Yurchikhin and Mazurkin, who have worked throughout the day today, are approaching a record-setting Russian spacewalk duration.
How about you? I'm bringing in UKP. Very good. Unintelligible. It doesn't copyright. Well, one tether happened to be shorter than required, but that's okay. UKP is inside. Copy, Fyodor. Let me secure it.
Так, Федор. Саша.
Fyodor? Sasha, yes.
Через 3 минуты.
In 3 minutes, we'll lose you for 10 minutes, and here is the plan.
Федор, ты заходишь.
Fyodor, your ingress DC-1. Sasha stays on EVA ladder. And then, okay, I copy. Sasha approaches EVA ladder and turns off sublimator. Copy. And we'll be waiting for the comm. Should you not have us on the loop, because there will be no comm, you are going to close the hatches. Okay? And start drying. Sasha, Fyodor? Sublimator should be turned off best when Sasha will be on the EVA ladder. And then, after you close the hatch, go to dry and normal. Okay, agreed.
Саша, обязательно посмотреть
Sasha,
поверхность люка.
make sure you check the interface surface of the hatch if you'll be closing it on your own. Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston, now officially 7 hours, 13 minutes into the spacewalk, as Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin are wrapping it all up, following a spacewalk in which they achieved all of their objectives to string 2 power cables and an Ethernet cable from the Zarya module to the Poisk module, and to install a panel of material science experiments on handrails on the Poisk module. The spacewalk now just 2 minutes shy of the longest spacewalk conducted in history by Russian cosmonauts. The previous record, 7 hours, 16 minutes, held by Anatoly Solovyev and Alexander Balandin on July 17, 1990, to repair thermal insulation on the outside of the Mir space station.
And as soon as the comm will be back, well, that's it.
And we've gone out of range, as luck would have it, right at the end of this spacewalk. We've gone out of range of our communications satellites. We should be picking up voice communications about 9 minutes from now. As we mentioned earlier in the record books, Fyodor Yurchikhin, who is wrapping up this 7th spacewalk in his career, spent 7 hours 41 minutes outside the International Space Station on a U.S. spacewalk in U.S. spacesuits back on July 23rd, 2007, with former astronaut Clay Anderson, a spacewalk that was highlighted by Anderson carrying a huge and spent ammonia tank that he discarded, jettisoning it from the end of the space station's Canadarm2. This is Mission Control Houston as we await reacquisition of signal with the International Space Station through our tracking and data relay satellite system. We've been talking about records here and now have passed the mark for the longest Russian spacewalk in history, as Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin have eclipsed the mark of 7 hours and 16 minutes set 23 years ago by Anatoly Soloviev and Alexander Balandin in a spacewalk conducted outside of the Mir space station. The longest spacewalk ever by anyone was a U.S. spacewalk conducted back on March 11th, 2001, during the STS-102 mission to the International Space Station. Jim Voss and Susan Helms conducted an 8-hour, 56-minute spacewalk on that day. This is Mission Control Houston, about 3 minutes away from regaining our signal, voice communications with the International Space Station after this period of passing out of range of communications through our tracking and data relay satellite system. We expect that when we do regain communications, both Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin will be back inside the Pirs docking compartment and preparing to close the hatch if they haven't already closed the hatch. We will try to ascertain the exact time of the hatch closure if it has occurred, so we can have an accurate time for the end of today's spacewalk, which the clock is currently ticking at 7 hours and 22 minutes.
Ребят, слышите меня?
Guys, do you read me now?
Ребят, слышите меня?
Yes, yes.
Ну, где мы находимся?
7:37. What are we?
Я же говорю, Сушка ТО 7:30. Я внутри. У меня Сушка
I have
уже 7:40.
still drying.
Я нахожусь
7:45. I'm inside. Sasha is on EV
похожее время. 7:40.
led closer there, and he has simuled them. Sasha, why you're not getting in?
Но мы ждем Сушка ТО, пока закончится.
We are
Ты сказал, Сушка ТО.
waiting for still drying to complete. But if you say we could get in, we can all get in.
Уже там защитное кольцо снимайте, осматривайте и
Remove
окончание сушки.
the protective cover and prepare for sublimated drying. We prepared all the cue cards.
Люк закрыт его практически.
And ready to close.
Смотрит на нас добрыми глазами. Так, ты как
What do you think, Sasha? Sure. Okay. Attached.
Принято, ребята.
Okay, guys.
Принято, ребята.
Так, Николаевич, вы меня видите?
Can you hear me,
Нормально.
Fyodor?
Я стою так, чтобы тебе помочь.
I can assist you here.
А УКП
Where is УКП?
там, где
Where it used to be.
оно всплыло. Сейчас я его...
Let me move it.
Ага,
Okay.
заходи.
Get in.
Так же, как было, да.
Same way.
И поднимайся потихоньку.
And start climbing slowly. Okay.
Я
I'm inside.
Принято, Саша.
Copy, Sasha.
Снимаем кольцо.
Remove the ring.
спокойно.
Enough room overhead.
Сняли,
Remove the ring.
сложили и внизу.
Uh,
Смотрим прибавочную память.
Observing the mating surface. I looked at
Сушка ТО
the at the seals, and
we are now at 7 hours 27 minutes into today's record-setting spacewalk by Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin outside of the Pirs docking compartment, the longest spacewalk ever conducted by a pair of Russian cosmonauts, eclipsing the previous mark set 23 years ago by Anatoly Soloviev and Alexander Balandin, repairing thermal insulation outside the Mir space station. Both cosmonauts are inside. They are in the process of removing the protective ring around the hatch to the Pirs docking compartment, and we should be seeing that hatch close to mark the official end of the spacewalk momentarily.
Inaudible. Stop him. Okay.
Нет, ты люк открой.
Open the hatch.
Сейчас все сделаю.
In work.
Так.
Okay.
Все, Саш.
That's all.
Вот, да, спасибо. Все.
Great.
Все просто никак дотянуться.
I was just trying to reach it.
Так, замки смотрят.
Checking the latches. So open, starting to close. Yes, go ahead and close.
Зашли. Да, ролики зашли.
The rolls are in.
Есть.
Done. And a click.
Ага, все.
Okay.
Так, люк закрыт.
The hatch is closed.
7 часов 29 минут.
7 hours and 29 minutes. 7:29.
Спасибо. Сейчас я там.
And the hatch now officially closed at 5:05 p.m. Central Time to wrap up a 7-hour, 29-minute spacewalk by Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin. 7 hours, 29 minutes, the longest spacewalk in the history of Russian EVAs by a pair of Russian cosmonauts. The previous record, as we have mentioned a few times in the last few minutes, the previous record was 7 hours, 16 minutes by Anatoly Soloviev and Alexander Balandin, set on July 17th, 1990, 23 years ago, as they repaired insulation on the outside of the Mir space station. But today, that mark eclipsed by Yurchikhin and Mazurkin in a spacewalk in which they strung a pair of power cables and an Ethernet cable and racked up a suite of material science experiments outside of the Russian segment of the International Space Station in a 7-hour, 29-minute spacewalk that officially began at 9:36 a.m. Central Time and ended just now at 5:05 p.m. Central Time.
Что тут будет? Поддержать вот да нет, я его отстегну. Вот не решился тут. Тоже люк закрыл.
So the hatch is closed, right? Yes.
Все. Выдаем команду на КВД ПХО-СУ разрешить.
Okay, the command on KVD PHO-SU to allow open KVD PHO-SU. Yes.
Николай, что помочь, скажите? Да. Что помочь? Есть
There is
Принято.
a go.
открытые. Есть загорание транспорта.
Select.
Есть.
And so we have the pressure going up.
И шагом 30 миллиметров давление в скафандре, давление в отсеке.
So the Pressure in the suit, pressure in the section, in the module. 40 millimeters. Copy.
Надувается до 260 метров.
So it is repressing. Copy.
The Piers docking compartment now in the process of being repressurized with both crew members back inside and the hatch closed.
In the suit, in both suits.
80 метров.
80 millimeters. 80.
Миллиметров в скафандрах.
100.25 in the suit. Copy. Confirm both. 120 millimeters. 122. 0.22. 0.22 both. Copy.
миллиметров.
150